Your training schedule is somewhat clear now. We've heard the news that Chris Eubank Jr. is going to be relying on his father, for his preparation for the October 8th fight at the O2 against Conor Benn, who's going to have his father, Nigel Benn, in his corner. Obviously, there's some PR to those, those decisions of who's in the corner for Eubank, I would think. You talk about these two legends on opposing corners. Do you think that kind of influenced why this is happening? I know Chris has worked with you in the past, actually, for the two fights before this.
Yeah, well, for me, if it was me and he asked me what he should do, I would have told him to do just that. But they should be there with the corner because your fathers are the reason the fight is happening. And having the fathers there in the corners is going to make it even bigger for everybody. So if I was a fan, I would definitely want to see Nigel in Conor's corner, and I would want to see Eubank Senior in Chris's corner. So, I mean, to me, that's just, why would I want to put my own values over something that's bigger than that? I mean, their fight is because of the fathers. The fathers are the reason this fight is even relevant. You feel me? So I'm going to step back and let the fathers do their due diligence because they are the reason this fight is happening. They wouldn't be fighting otherwise if it wasn't for their father. One is a welterweight, one is a middleweight. There wouldn't be no fight at all if it wasn't for the fathers. So I can see that.
But I think you're underselling your own contributions. Obviously, he's looked pretty good in the last couple of victories with you in that corner. Why would you risk a loss by taking you out of that corner?
Well, just because of the situation, like I said, this fight is a fight that strictly is happening because of the fathers, nothing to do with me. You understand me? So if it weren't for their fathers, this fight wouldn't even be talked about right now because one's a welterweight and one's a middleweight. You understand? So I kind of chalk it up as that, and that's like I said, for me, if he would have asked me what you think I should do, I say yes. If his father's working his corner, your father should work your corner because that makes it bigger.
If anyone knows about that connection, from father to son, it's you, correct? I mean, that is just a very special relationship.
Yes, it is. And I care more about the athlete benefiting from himself, the most he can benefit from it, than worrying about me. You know what I mean? I love the kid to death and I do all I can for him. But this fight is going to be much more beneficial if his dad is in the corner because that gives that friction of the two fathers, again, more heat and make more people interested in the fight. You understand me? And so it's like, I'm going to do what's necessary. I want to do what's best for the team, not for myself. What's best for the team. What's best for that team right now is that his father was his corner against Conor's father because that's who the big fight was. That's what started it all. You understand me? So I love it.
Who wins the fight?
I think Eubank wins the fight with no problem, but there are a few things you have to do to make sure he keeps being in check. So I think Eubank is probably more experienced and the bigger and the better fighter. So all my thoughts will be toward Eubanks, but there are Eubanks, you know what I mean? But there are some things that Conor could do to cause problems, and I've already warned Chris of those things, so I think he'll be fine.
Are you on the phone at all with Eubank just to check in? Okay, good.
Yes, I speak to him every now and then. Yes.
Oh, great, Ryan.
We text back and forth yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Oh, great. What kind of things are you telling him?
Just that they keep the head down, be careful, watch for the big left hook, things like that.